Hi, welcome to Learn English and Practice with Marie. Today we're going to do Advanced Vocabulary Builder, lesson number 128. We'll go through 10 advanced words and talk about their definitions, parts of speech, and review a couple of examples for each. We'll finish with a story so you can hear the words in context and do a quick review of each word at the end. This is a series, so if you like this video, subscribe for more. Let's get started. First, I'll read the words: malicious, inversion, pitiable, viability, conviction, arduous, exploit or exploit, candid, interlocutor, tremendous. First, malicious. This means characterized by malice, intending or intended to do harm, as an adjective. So someone or something who's malicious is trying to cause harm, is trying to do something that has a negative impact. So if someone has malicious intent, they might go and tell your boss that you came into work late, and they might do that with the intent of getting you in trouble or getting you fired. Also, I'll mention the concept of malicious compliance. So if you're given a rule that's frustrating and doesn't make sense, you can comply with it, but do so maliciously. So do so in a way that causes chaos and harm. I'm not going to explain it too deeply here, but look up malicious compliance and that will help you understand this word. Examples are: the email was flagged as malicious and quickly deleted from the company server. Despite his calm tone, there was a malicious edge to his words. Inversion. This means a reversal of position, order, form, or relationship, such as a change in normal word order or the condition of being turned inward or inside out, as a noun. And there are additional science and mathematical meanings. In fact, there's many additional meanings associated with this word. So this idea of inversion has to do with turning something inside out or changing things to the opposite. Take the movie Freaky Friday. In that movie, the role between mother and daughter gets inverted. There's an inversion where the two characters switch places. Examples are: the film used an inversion of time to tell its story in reverse. In poetry, inversion of word order can create dramatic emphasis. Pitiable. This means deserving or arousing pity, as an adjective. So something that's pitiable is pathetic. It's really sad to look at or experience, and it deserves sympathy. Take, for example, the commercials that the ASPCA does. The ASPCA is an organization that helps animals and is really huge here in America. And in those commercials, they'll show starving dogs, they'll show animals looking at you with wide eyes, and they'll be asking for just a penny a day. And the aim is to make those animals look as pitiable as possible to increase the chance of donations. Examples are: the stray dog looked pitiable, shivering in the rain. They lived in pitiable conditions with barely enough food to survive. Viability. This means ability to work successfully, as a noun, ability to survive or live successfully, as a noun. So in this word, you can also hear viable, viable, viability, obviously related words. In the context of medicine, we could speak about pregnancies and the number of weeks at which a fetus might be viable. The viability of a fetus would be its ability to survive on its own post-birth. You could also talk about viability in other contexts. So I might say, I'm not sure about the viability of buying a new car right now because most of my income is going to the mortgage and I don't think I can afford it. So maybe it's not viable. Examples are: the startup's financial viability was uncertain at best. We questioned the viability of launching a new product during a recession. Conviction. This means a formal declaration that someone is guilty of a criminal offense made by the verdict of a jury or the decision of a judge in a court of law as a noun, a firmly held belief or opinion as a noun. So that first meaning has to do with criminal proceedings and individuals getting convicted of crimes. That's a context that is pretty common, but the more interesting one to us right now is that second meaning. So a conviction is a firmly held belief or opinion. I might, for example, have the conviction that child abuse is one of the most terrible things that exist in the world. That's a deeply, firmly held belief. And if anyone were to challenge me on that, I would debate them. I would challenge them back. Examples are, she spoke with such conviction that even skeptics were swayed. After hours of deliberation, the jury returned with a conviction. Arduous. This means involving or requiring strenuous effort, difficult, and tiring as an adjective. So this word arduous can be used literally or figuratively. Something can be physically taxing. It can be exhausting. You might be hiking a trail or running a race, and that experience is arduous. You're sweating, your muscles are sore. But you can also use this to refer to challenging intellectual or experiential journeys. For example, the journey through college tends to be quite arduous. There's a lot of work, a lot of learning, a lot of growth, and you could definitely use that word there. Examples are, the climb to the summit was arduous, but worth every step. He faced an arduous recovery after the surgery. Exploit or exploit. This means make full use of and derive benefit from a resource as a verb, use a situation or person in an unfair or selfish way as a verb, benefit unfairly from the work of someone, typically by overworking or underpaying them as a verb, a bold or daring feat as a noun, and there are additional computing meanings. So this word can be pronounced in two different ways, and as a verb, really, I typically hear this in terms of the exploitation of people or the taking advantage of people. So I find the restaurant industry to be somewhat exploitative in the US because restaurant servers do not make a very high base pay most of the time. They only make a couple of US dollars, which is not nearly enough to live on per hour. And the majority of the money they make is through tips, which can be highly variable. So I find that incredibly exploitative because the servers aren't guaranteed the pay that they need to survive and live. But you might also refer to an exploit. So maybe a trip to Europe could be a grand exploit where someone gets to travel and enjoy life through tourism. Examples are, some companies exploit workers by paying below minimum wage. He was eager to exploit the loophole in the system. Candid. This means truthful and straightforward, frank, as an adjective, of a photograph or a person taken informally, especially without the subject's knowledge, as an adjective. So having a candid conversation means connecting in a personal way and talking about difficult things. On the show Full House, frequently the father on that show was having candid conversations with his children. And in those conversations, the children were able to express their feelings and talk about difficult things. Also, you can use this in the context of photographs that aren't staged. So at a wedding, you might want to have some candid photos taken of guests simply enjoying their night. Examples are, her candid response surprised everyone in the room. He gave a candid assessment of the team's weaknesses. Interlocutor. This means a person who takes part in a dialogue or conversation as a noun. And this word is pretty formal, a little outdated. You're not going to encounter it a lot, but it's definitely worth knowing. So an interlocutor is someone who is engaging in typically some sort of formal conversation. Take, for example, the philosopher Socrates. A lot of his works are based on conversations and dialogue in which questions are asked and topics are explored. So Socrates certainly is a great interlocutor. Examples are, she was a thoughtful interlocutor, asking questions that deepened the discussion. Each interlocutor brought a unique perspective to the panel. Tremendous. This means very great in amount, scale, or intensity as an adjective, or informally, it can be extremely good or impressive, excellent as an adjective. So that second meaning isn't quite the literal meaning of tremendous, but it's used colloquially very frequently, so it's made it into the formal definition. To say something's tremendous means, oh, it was really good, it was amazing, it was outstanding. The literal meaning here is that it's very, very big, but to say something was tremendous means that it was exceptional. Examples are, the concert was a tremendous success, drawing a record crowd. Her performance showed tremendous growth since last season. So let's read a story where we can hear these words in context. When Maya first joined the lab, she believed in the mission with deep conviction. The company claimed it was creating medicine to help people, but that was only part of the truth. Over time, Maya noticed malicious decisions being made, including dangerous shortcuts, hidden side effects, and lies told to patients who trusted them. The leaders did not seem to care if a drug was safe. They only cared about money. The work of gathering evidence was arduous. Maya had to act normal while secretly printing reports, saving emails, and recording meetings. Her heart raced every day. Some coworkers were clearly scared, but said nothing. One even called her pitiable for thinking she could change anything. Still, she kept going. She had to test the viability of what she had found and ask herself if anyone would believe her. She sent the files to a reporter and agreed to an interview. The reporter was a skilled interlocutor, asking sharp questions, but showing kindness too. Maya gave a candid account of what she had seen. They talked about the company's plan to exploit poor communities for risky testing. They discussed the inversion of values, how profit had replaced care. The story became big. A tremendous number of people read it. The company denied everything, but an investigation began. Maya did not know what would happen next, but she knew she had told the truth. So let's quickly review these words and I'll spell as we go. Malicious, M-I-L-I-C-I-O-U-S, means characterized by malice or intended to do harm. Inversion, I-N-V-E-R-S-I-O-N, is a reversal in position, order, form, or relationship. Pitiable, P-I-T-I-A-B-L-E, is deserving of or arousing pity. Viability, V-I-A-B-I-L-I-T-Y, is able to work successfully or survive or live successfully. Conviction, C-O-N-V-I-C-T-I-O-N, could be a decision of a jury or judge, or it can mean a firmly held belief or opinion. Arduous, A-R-D-U-O-U-S, is involving or requiring a lot of effort. Exploit or exploit, E-X-P-L-O-I-T, T is to make use of a resource, to use a person in an unfair or selfish way, or it can mean a bold or daring feat or adventure. Candid, C-A-N-D-I-D, means truthful or straightforward, or it can be an informally taken photograph. Interlocutor, I-N-T-E-R-L-O-C-U-T-O-R, is someone who takes part in a dialogue or conversation. Tremendous, T-R-E-M-E-N-D-O-U-S, is large in amount, scale, or intensity, or very impressive, excellent. Again, those words are malicious, inversion, pitiable, viability, conviction, arduous, exploit, candid, interlocutor, tremendous. Great job today. There are other videos like this on this channel, and more are coming soon. I'll put playlists and videos right here, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!